So now to attach this nailing ridge piece. Notch helped. It could have been a little further notched here, but it got close enough. So I have a mark here where I want this to be, and at there. Got stuck up here a little. Yes, that's better. And this is a 75-year warranty. So I nailed it into the side. Now this has only one point of failure, and the tile's gonna fall to the ground. It's just held by this one wire. So I'm going to add some redundancy, which back in the day, well, they had roof cement. They could have used roof cement for this. So I'm attaching this tile here on the right to this. So we now have 4 nails attached, and I'm going to then add a dab here to this. Yeah, make sure it sits in there, and it does. Maybe a little more than I should have, but somebody coming along, you won't never see this from the ground, but some guy coming along and replacing some of this, he'll see that sticking out, and he'll know that he's got to deal with that. So this tile is now anchored to this tile with 2 nails, and the bird stop, which has eave closure, which has 2 nails in it. And this one, see, if that broke up there, it's already sitting on this one, so it has more than one point of failure. And I don't know why I like to do this, but I do that. Sometimes it takes a couple of tries to get a couple of cuts to get this, and this is not a straight cut, but see, now it's hitting right through here. So this cut is a sweep. So let's see. What if I drug the silicone around? Okay. Okay, I have this piece in, although I would prefer it to be more this way, and it's swinging that way, but you just won't be able to see that. Now you might, so this is the another one point of failure thing, so we're going to need to attach that. And you might be wondering why I didn't use this hole, and I did, and there's a knot or something under there, and I bent the nail and broke the piece. So it's wired and it's glued to this piece and cemented. The old timers would have used roof cement. Use this old long copper nail and take it out later, maybe. Put that in there to hold this over. Actually didn't go into anything, but it's in enough. So we have it attached to this, and we'll attach it to that one, as well. This piece, which is that piece down there now, was cut like this, and when I put the hip starter with the ball on it, it would not, it needs to cover this piece, and it was not covering it, so I had to take it out, and there was a silicone, and the silicone was doing a good job, and so now I have it back in place, and so we have a redundancy. See, the hip starter has this indentation and it wants to catch that, but this, since it's steeper, to bring this 2 inches out, it ends up in a different location, so this will have to be mortared in here. That's gonna be my first attempt at a cut. This one here is a bit of a challenge. I made the knot over here under this lip so it wouldn't push the piece up. But see, since I have to hang it like that, it wants to slide down. So I put a notch here, and I'm going to hold it in place, if I can get some good wood here, with this long copper nail. Oh, ha. And, of course, I'm going to have to use some space technology bring into this old 100-year-old paradigm. Did you know the reason these are barrel shaped is because they made this out of clay over their leg, so the mission tile are still in the shape of their leg, and I imagine somewhere in the world they still make tile by forming clay over the thigh of their leg. And why not put a little bit here while we're at it? And here. Just make sure that baby, oh, and here. Oh, and I'm sure I'll see other places. Look at it, it's already clear. Is this wet? No, that's not set. But it's getting close. See, there's a chance that that could be too high. But I have the grinder here, I could just cut the top right off. But let's see what happens. I'm going to leave that out, and on the next piece I'll bring down to that just to see. Look, it's kicking that up. Yep, I'm gonna need to take a bit off the top so it doesn't raise above this too much. Okay, see, and then the next piece is gonna hold this down. See this piece right here? I might have to cut a little notch there. There, move it over, line it up a little better. But that has to stay down. Okay. Pin this down a little. Is my nail? No, my nail isn't even. Yes, it is. Keep that down. Right, I have an experience. Birds stop. A few hundred, 100 years old. And this is my integral pan flashing that I'm holding in place with this clip until I get some caulk and stuff in it. And it's this size because the cover is going to be small on this side. I don't like using clips, and I can't remember the last time I did, but I don't see a way around this, at least temporarily. I cut some places to use copper wire, but I'm afraid it's gonna go across here and it's likely to show. Now when I get up there doing it, maybe I can put a couple here, but it doesn't seem like it's going to hang on very much. But if I put a clip here, some people wrap it around, and then maybe a long nail there, and anchor it somehow. See, what's complicating things is this wire here, and it's wanting to kick this up. Put this here, put a nail here, cut a groove, put a nail there. But see, putting a nail here is just going to kick it up more. I'm going to silicone it in place. Then when it's not teetery, I can cut a notch, a deep notch in here, and put a nail there. And I might be able to put some notches up here when we see how this comes out. And put a dab of this, which is now going to be attached to both of these, and put a bit here. And later on, deal with additional fasteners when this thing isn't rocking. Okay, I'll leave it alone. And put a dab of this, which is now going to be attached to both of these, and put a bit here. And later on, deal with additional fasteners when this thing isn't rocking. Okay, I'll leave it alone. I could put a little baby cover, but it's only gonna be such a small piece that goes here, and there's no reason for it. If rain falls on the tile, it goes out here. If rain manages to go in there, it goes down the channel. If rain washes on the wall, it comes across and goes in the channel. So there's I see no reason. Maybe if we were doing a front porch and it was up close, we would send to Ludowici to make them make a special piece that would cover that, but I see no reason for doing that. Last piece, there's a lot more overlap than 3 inches, and I put a piece of lead flashing in here. Well, it's not flashing, it's just a piece of lead, which is now a piece of flashing. And I put that in there to cover over a hole, and I'm about ready to put this piece, and what I want to do is fit these together so well that, I don't know, maybe I'll just put a piece of lead that'll cover the nail holes. These two pieces together as close as I could. I want to leave a little space in there, because if you make it too close, then the caulk, the silicone seal, won't work quite as well, because it has a coefficient of expansion that's based on the thickness of the joint. So if it has, say, it has more than 100%, but let's say it has 100%, that means if the joint's a quarter, it'll go to a ½ inch before failing. But if you put a joint a 1/16, then it only has to move another 1/16 before it fails. So the way it works is sort of like the more fill you have, the more expansion you have. So these are fit together. I shave this off, and now I'm going to put a piece of lead over the top and to cover the nails. I have this lead finial, and I'm gently tapping it. Its job is to cover the nail hole, the nails, and this little slicer. That's all it's going to do. I think I have enough to set this piece in, and to make this joint. Okay, there. That's not coming off anytime soon. It's ready for space. And from the ground, you will not see any of this. It'll just look like these things come together. This beats mounding red tinted. When this dries, I can actually come back and flatten it even more. Much better than using a glob of red tinted brick mortar. Alright, so the next move is to fill most of this with foam fill, at least some of it. Make a little secret attachment place up under there. It's amazing that there's only one nail in each one of these. Oh, well, I know why. Because it gets packed with mortar, and the mortar, of course, sticks to it. And I had to take a sledgehammer to that hip over there on that side.